Hey everyone, I get asked for a lot of ball workouts, so here's another one for you. And honestly, a lot of people always ask to do ab stuff. So it kind of goes against my grain to overload the abs, but I'm going to give you a whole series of things to do in a row, and of course you can choose what it is that you do and how often you do it. So come and join me as we play over the ball. So to start with, we're just going to lie our body over the front, knees are on the mat, and just resting yourself over. This is a great place just to open up some of the back space of your lower back, and when you need to, this is a great place to do some resting. From here, we're going to bring your body upright so that your hands are fairly light on the floor, so you still have all your weight over the ball and onto your knees. You're going to begin with your arm lengthening out in front of you and overhead, and then bringing it back down again. So your aim in this exercise is not to be very heavy in your hands and your arms, but to make sure that you're feeling light and supported through the wrists, but really connecting deep up into your shoulders and ribs. And we'll go one more time to each side, just lengthening through those arms. Always check in with your own body what feels comfortable, so don't try and lift it so high that you can't do anything else. Send the arm now out to the side and bringing it in. Now you may be thinking, what the heck does this have to do with abdominals? Well, everything in the body is connected, and as we change movement patterns, we're going to be firing off different muscles that are not necessarily used to be doing it in this way or in this direction. So always adding a bit of variability. Now, you can keep your feet flat or you can tuck your toes under for this next one, because what we're going to do is we're going to take our arms up and circle them around and bring them forward and through. So ideally, we're going to keep the body in a fairly neutral position. You are on a ball, so there will be a little bit of movement up and down, but you're not trying to throw your spine up and away. And then we're going to change the circle direction, so overhead and then lowering down. Feel like the back of the neck is nice and long and supportive, and you may feel similar to a butterfly stroke in a swimming pool right now. And then from there, place the hands on, and we're just going to shift our body weight over now so that your knees are off the floor and your hands are still underneath your shoulder line quite steadily. Keep the feeling of the thighs pressing to the ball as we go into our classic quadruped or 4-point kneeling. So we're going to open an arm and a leg out and then bringing them back. So as you're doing this movement, remember to return your thigh to touch onto the ball. So a common thing that will happen is you'll start to leave the leg back in a plank. So making sure that you still pull that knee in towards you. And then we'll go one more again to each side. So working in our opposite length. And then we're going to change our movement to do it on the same arm and the same leg. So as you do that, there's a slight transfer of weight from side to side, and a lengthening of your fingertips and your toes away from the center. And again, maybe you find that the same arm, same leg variation is easier for you. Maybe it's more challenging. But it's nice to just keep checking in with yourself what's going on. All right, from there we'll just take a little break down and rest. So we're going to move on and we're going to roll ourselves further forward. So I'm going to start further back behind me and then rolling yourself out. And part of the movement is the slowness and the steadiness and the correctness of placing your hands and your body. So we've got our knees on the top of the ball, and we're going to start by pulling the ball directly in towards us and then lengthening away. So your repetition number is 5, and you can see I'm not doing this with a very fast pace because I'm more into the control of movement and always finding the form with every motion. 4, and then one more time we'll pull in 5. You're going to maintain your body out straight, and then we're going to dip down into the elbows and push the floor away. 2, so working into a push-up variation. 3, and because you're hovering off of the ball, you'll be feeling your belly supported, 5. Now from here we keep going, and you're going to now pull your your knees towards your opposite elbow, so left elbow, and then lengthening out, and then pulling into your right elbow and lengthening out. Pause in the center, and then bend into your arms. Then we'll go to the right side, pull it in and lengthen it out, and to the left side, twist and out, and then lower through the middle. And then off to the left we go, and long, and to the right, and long, and down the center. We've got one more time going to the right side and out. By now your arms should be feeling this, and to the left and out, and of course your delicious abdominal wall. And then here's the best part of all, is the slow, steady, controlled walk back. We're going to keep going. We're going to go a little further this time. So as we go, you're going to rest your feet on top of the ball. So walking out, and again, the slower you go, the better control you have. So if the ball starts to roll around rapidly, just find your balance. So backs of the ankles or tops of the ankles are touching, strong through those arms. You're going to pull the ball towards you, aiming your hips up to the ceiling, and then lengthen yourself out into a plank line. So form, as I've mentioned, is very important through these movements. And the slowness that you do this can't be too slow, can't be too fast. You've got to find that midpoint that is the best. We've got 2 more as we lift the hips and lengthen out. And then last time, lift and out. And then walking slow, controlled, back to the start. And then resting over there. Oh, all right, we're not done on our front. We still have a bit more to go. So from here, we're going to go into a semi-plank position. So having your hands begin at the top, nice and light, tall spine. We're going to roll the ball out through the forearms and balance at your elbows. I like to have my fingers together. I feel like a little shark fin at the top. My feet are together and away from the floor. And then you bring yourself back to your beginning point. And we'll do that again, just a nice slow, steady, are you in the right position? So your tummy's not touching the ball, your shoulders are strong and supportive, and then coming back. So we've got another 3 like this. And remember, there are variations that are going to keep coming on to the movement, but can you hold the position for a breath or 2 or a second or 2? Because then you know you'll be in the right place. When you do these movements, nothing should be aggravating your lower back area. Nothing should be tweaking in your neck or shoulders. So everything is very balanced and supported. We're going to move on. So we go out into our original position. And from here, you're going to slide the ball forward and backward. And 2, and 3, 4, and 1 more, 5. And then returning back up. We go again. This time, instead of going forward and backward, we take the ball to the left and the right. So a small movement past center on each side. And as you're doing that, your upper body, your middle body, your lower body are staying steady. And it's just those arms and shoulders doing some effort. Back to the center and returning up. Our final variation is a circle. So again, leading yourself out. This is the most challenging of all because we're going to stay here for 5 circles each way. So a little bit more endurance. 3 and 4, stirring around. 5, keeping body steady and changing direction for 5, 4, 3. You're going to pick up which one's easier. 2, 1, I probably did an extra one, and then come all the way back in. That's a beautiful one for this part of your body. All right, let's get off those knees and come to lie down onto our back. Don't be fooled, it's not easy. So as we're coming towards the floor, we're going to start with the ball resting just over the tops of the shins and your hands at one side. Your toes are going to be supportive on the other side when we straighten the legs. Now, if you don't have good flexibility in your hamstrings to straighten the knees, then you're just going to have it at a slight bend, whatever is comfortable for you to do this movement. So when you're ready, stretch the legs up towards the ceiling, pressing on the other side. Now, it's similar to what we did in our 4-point kneeling. You're going to take opposite arm and leg, and we're going to lower them toward the floor and then bring them to tap the ball. And again, stretch them out and bring them in. And again, 3 and 4. To make these series, I only do 5 repetitions as our max. Last one. And coming in, switch straight away to side 2. Now, when you are lowering long lever limbs like our arm and leg away from center, it can put stress on the belly area. So make sure that you're not arching in your lower back, you're not doming your abdominals, and then bringing it all the way in and rest through the movement. So we've got more to go, just like when we did on all fours. We're now going to do same arm, same leg. And again, raising it up towards the ceiling. Find that connection of foot and hand, and then opening your limbs away and bringing them back in. And again, lower and lift. So if your leg is going down too fast or not getting the right control, it's going to want to flick your pelvis away from the mat. And then switching sides, down and up and down and up. Nothing is forced. There's no swinging momentum. It's all controlled movement in both directions. And then bend and rest. We have a finale, and that's going to be opposite arm and leg and alternating with every one. Send the ball up towards the ceiling and let's take it away. Opposite arm and leg go down and up, and then straight away change over. So when we do things of just doing it on the same side, we're building strength, we're building endurance. Your body needs to know what is happening. And then to challenge, we add this coordinated movement, moving from one side to the other. And then I have lost count, to be honest. So I'm going to do another one to each direction. Good thing I remembered which one I started on. And then coming all the way back and down. So I wish I could say it's over, but we do have one more thing to do, which is quite a bit of fun. So you're now going to hold the ball with your feet and send your arms out wide to the side. So again, depending on your leg length and flexibility, this will either be easy or not so easy. So from here, we're going to send the legs up and then bend the legs down. So you can tap the ball to the floor and then lengthen the legs towards the ceiling. And tap and lift. So keeping your whole spine supported on the floor, maintaining your neutral balance. And this is 4. And then one more time, 5. Raising it up. And then bring your arms in towards you. I have to take my head piece away. And from here, only if it's suitable for your spine, we're going to do a roll over. So send the legs as close towards you as you can as your bottom leaves the floor, and lower the ball to touch behind. Raise the ball just off the floor as you lower your body down to the mat with control, and then we bend the knees again. So remember, if rolling over is not an option for you, stick with the lift and lower of the legs as we did in the last variation. And overhead, lower to touch, and then lift and come back down. So everything is controlled, it's balanced, it's smooth, there's no force, there's no heave, there's no holding of the breath. It's just an easy peeling of your body away, lower, lift, and then coming down. On the next one, if you're still with me through the variation, we're going to add on a little bit of a balance challenge overhead this time. As you go over, you rest the ball towards the floor, and then you're going to slide your feet so that they're on the top edge of the ball now. Lift the hips up even higher, and then from there, raise one leg off the ball and bring it down, and the other one up and down. Let's just do another one each side. Don't look
to the side when you're overhead. That's not great for your neck. And then coming back down. Send your arms overhead to find the edges of the ball. Release your body to the floor as you bring yourself down smoothly, balanced, and then bring the ball forward and roll yourself up. Shake your hair. And that's us. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.